Good afternoon to you.
How's it going, Joe?
You have sent us in an email. You say it took 4 hours to write, and it's about your own life. Tell us and the situation you now find yourself in. When was it? Chemo yesterday?
Yeah, yeah. I'm nervous. I'll try to get my breath.
Susie Long was a vivacious young American, came to Ireland looking for adventure. Met and married an Irishman, had 2 children, settled in Kilkenny. We were doing lots of stories about conditions in A&E, and this was 2007. At the height of the boom, there was another world out there, and the other world was inhabited by people like Susie Long. She knew what she was talking about. She simply wanted to tell, through her awful experience, the real story, the real impact of Ireland's 2-tier health system. I had seen the email about 3 minutes previously, and she just took over the programme then for a long, long time.
Well, I had chemo yesterday, and there was a nice man getting chemo 2 beds over from me. Basically, he went in to his doctor because he was losing a lot of weight, and he felt miserable, and she said, look, you have private health insurance, and she phoned the hospital, and he was seen 3 days later, and he was diagnosed with cancer, and luckily he's going to recover. He had the same surgery I did, but you know, because it was cotton time, he's going to recover, but I didn't have private health insurance.
For people to actually be able to physically see what the 2-tier health service meant, that's what it was.
There shouldn't be private health insurance versus public health insurance. There shouldn't be a 2-tier system. We're all decent people. We all have people that we love and who love us, you know, and fuck that.
Susie worked on a stall in Grafton Street, which is where I would have met her, but she actually had about 3 jobs. She came to Ireland on a mission. She had Irish ancestry. She found Ireland liberating. Susie and myself took a holiday in Paris, and she had a lot of bowel problems, and when she got back she decided to take it to the doctor.
On February 28th, 2006, 4 days after I turned 40, I was called for a colonoscopy. I didn't have to wait for the result. I knew what I had.
It took quite a while before we understood what stage 4 meant, and that it was a matter of time.
At one stage you say, should I blame anyone for my hard luck? What's going through your head when you say that? You think it is hard luck?
I think getting cancer is hard luck, you know.
And you say you had to wait between 7 and 8 months for
a diagnostic test.
It wasn't until she was home trying to recover from the chemo, and there was an ad on television explaining to people that bowel cancer was the 2nd highest cancer killer, and that people should get early diagnosis, that it was key. You can imagine that was quite a blow to Susie, to know that she had to wait 7 months, and she was extremely angry. And I remember just as I was heading for bed that she was heading for the computer to write an email to Joe Duffy.
Because it broke through the bowel, I've been given 2 to 4 years from diagnosis to live. I have 3 years tops to go. Today when I heard that a very nice man is going to live because he had private health insurance and I'm going to die because I didn't, I had to bite my tongue. I'm happy he's going to live. He deserves to live. But so do I.
To be able to hear somebody saying the 2-tier health service has killed me. Who in this country at any one time can tell such a story, that I'm going to die?
She wanted to tell the public that this was wrong, you know. It had to change.
Despite 1.5 incomes, we couldn't afford VHI or Bupa. But even if we could, we wouldn't have gotten it because we believed, and still do, that all people should get good health care despite their incomes.
It's true that what Susie was doing was discussing on Lifeline a lot of detail of our private lives, but this is the only way to do it, to get the story out. and people could relate to a real story. We spoke with the children and they understood where she was coming from, and they were very proud of what she was doing. I think that Susie did an amazing thing.
She had an anger, which people heard in some of the words she used during the interview. She had an anger which was so real, and she just did tap into the national psyche at that time, and her power was just overwhelming.
And can I tell you, Joe, that just being on your show made a big difference in that there was a debate on the cancer services in the Dáil. During that debate, Mary Harney said that she was going to give 300,000 to St. Luke's in Kilkenny for an endoscopy unit, which is what St. Luke's have been asking for 10 years. But because I went public on your show, and because of all this, the support that your listeners gave and all of their stories that came in after, there's now going to be an endoscopy unit in St. Luke's.
Susie's priorities were a new daycare unit and provision of hospice services in Kilkenny.
The plans have been drawn up for a new day ward, a day unit.
To see this now and to think back where it all started when Susie went on to Liveline, it's a vindication of everything she tried to do from the time that she discovered, you know, that she herself had been shortchanged by the system. So this is the reality now, hopefully, and lives will be saved, as Susie wanted.
The Black Tag event is